Hey, welcome back. I'm Trip. This is Trip's Whips. Today we're in Lamont's Kitchen on 612 in Archer in the greater Houston area. We have world-renowned Chef Reginald. He's going to give us a quick tour around the pavilion as well as give us a behind-the-look scenes of what goes into one of those delicious dishes that they serve right here in Houston, Texas. Come on. Welcome back to Trip's Whips. I'm here with world-renowned Chef Reginald. What are we cooking today? And can you explain to me how you got cooking?
Well, we're going to do a little shrimp and pasta dish. It's going to be a takeoff of a dish that I did for your aunt, my wife Miranda, for our wedding. It was called Miranda's pasta. It's a little spicy shrimp. She normally does it with fettuccine, but I'm going to do it with some penne pasta. And I'm going to do a little variation. Normally I do it with cognac, but we're going to do this Caribbean rum that I really love. It's this rum that's aged in bourbon barrels. We're going to blend it with a little curry and garam masala, kind of give it that Indian Caribbean vibe to it. So that's what we're going to work with today.
You showed me a little bit around here. How long have y'all been here, and what got you interested in cooking in the first place?
So we bought this property here, I think about 6-7 years ago. After leasing and being at several venues throughout the city, we were like, hey, it's time for us to get our own space. So this is a 1,200-foot commissary kitchen. We have a cold kitchen. We're in a hot kitchen right now. So in this space, we're able to produce food anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 meals a day, depending on what type of catering event we have. We have a full liquor license, so with the rum we're having. But we have various different flights of wine that we might pair with dinners. We have full bar services. Most of the things that we do is off-site. We call it off-premise catering. So you'll see us at various venues throughout the city. But we also have a full product line that we sell in stores. So we have 5 frozen food items. We have crawfish etouffee, chicken and sausage gumbo, a pecan chicken tender. We have our homemade Creole sausage we sell, and then our most famous dish that we sell is our Louisiana bread pudding with bourbon sauce.
Really?
Yep.
All of those. Where can anyone find those?
So we sell those every day in Bearings Hardware, and I know that sounds a little weird, but Bearings is like this super tab, high-end hardware store on steroids. So it's a really cool store. They have a location on Bissonnette, and the original store is on West Town.
Yeah, check it out. Okay, so tell me a little bit about some of the seasons we have and what's going to go into Miranda's pasta.
So my background is obviously Creole, French Creole, trained in classical French techniques, but most of my cooking came learning early on in my family. My grandmother started our company back in 1959, very much a mom and pop catering business, specializing in weddings at that time. I decided it was really important for me to kind of take it to the next level. So around 2003 or so, we got our first location. We've had a couple of restaurants, but I've taken my chef training, taking French Creole cuisine, and making sure that we really kind of continue to live up to that cultural significance in the food and our heritage. Often people sort of like to adopt different flavors in some of their styles, but who else better to do French Creole cuisine than someone who actually has it in their bloodline? So we continue to make sure that's a part of our food. It doesn't overpower what we do, but it's the backbone, and it's always in the background of all the flavors. So people ask me all the time, well, what kind of food do you do? We do traditional American cuisine with what we call regional Gulf Coast food influences.
Exactly.
So you're going to have Texas spices, you're going to have Louisiana, Alabama, Southern Creole flavors kind of permeating through all the things that we do. That's kind of how we've been able to create a name for ourselves.
Okay, well, I'm very anxious to get started.
All right, awesome.
I know that you have your executive chef wear, but you don't
I'll get geared up.
Trip slips here for you. There we go. basically explain to me what we're cooking today and what all we have over here.
All right, so we're going to be doing our Caribbean-inspired shrimp and pasta dish. We're going to flavor with some classic Caribbean spices, along with some of our traditional flavors, garlic and what I call the Trinity. And anybody who knows Creole cooking, Louisiana cooking, almost all your dishes start with what we call the Trinity. We're going to have a little variation of the Trinity, but the Trinity is always your green bell peppers, your celery, and an onion. But I'm using shallot, which is a classic style onion you would find in fine dining in French cuisine. Okay. So we're going to use this shallot to represent the onion in this Trinity. Okay. So because it's a delicate dish like pasta, really want to make sure our knife cuts, we're getting really small, fine, we call them brunoise in cooking, if you were in cooking school. So I'm going to make these close to a brunoise, but you know, small dice.
You do teach a class as well, right?
I've taught 8 years of teaching, so I'm a certified executive chef with the American Culinary Federation, also a certified culinary educator. So I taught 8 years teaching high school and also 5 years teaching community college here in Houston. So yes, I've taught many culinary classes to students.
So do you always, let me ask you, when you're cooking and you pick up your own techniques,
yep.
When you're in a school setting and you're trying to teach someone, do you give them all of your secrets or do you teach them the basics?
So I'll tell you right now, so the Bible of cooking, everybody will tell you, is called a Scoffier. So it's a French cookbook that everyone sort of bases culinary cooking on. It's about 100 years old. So I always tell people in that book it has about 4,000 recipes. Not too many things that's new happening in the world of cooking. So it's all about your variation. And the way I look at it is my job is to teach you all the fundamentals of cooking, and it's your job to be better than me. So it's not really about a competition. It's about just continuing to trying to pass down traditions of the culinary world. I mean, obviously, do we have some recipes that are proprietary? Yes, but that's different from me teaching you a technique. You know, if I need to teach you how to sear steak, I'm going to teach you how to sear, because that's got nothing to do with my recipe or my sauce or my marinade. So my goal is to give you all the techniques. You go out and make the recipes that fit the techniques that's unique to what you love to do.
That's a perfect answer for that. I couldn't ask for more. Okay, so
we got the green bells. Now we're doing the small dice, fine dice celery. Okay.
Okay, so the Holy Trinity, you call it?
Yep. The Trinity, the Holy Trinity in classic Creole or Cajun cooking is going to be your green bells, celery, and then onion. So in our case, I say we're not going to use an onion. We're going to use a shallot, which is from the onion family. So it's a much finer onion, and it's perfect for the type of application that we're using here. So this is going to be a saute cooking technique. Where it's we're gonna build all the flavors in one pot. Classic French cuisine, you might make a sauce separate, cook the pasta separate, saute. Mm-hmm. So we're in most of your Creole Cajun cooking, most of this is one pot cooking. Mm-hmm. So they take classic French technique, because we know that French used to own Louisiana, but because you're talking about an area of the country where they didn't have professional kitchens way back in the day, they used cast iron, which we have here, mm-hmm. and they cooked a lot of things all together in a very flavorful, refined way of cooking, but still sort of home, kind of a home-based method, while using French philosophy and what they were doing. Trinity here. I've got some garlic, so this is a roasted garlic. So again, people will say things like, "Oh, so this isn't unique to me," but I make sure this is in our cuisine. So you'll take garlic, roast it in oil. It's like frying garlic in oil, and then you puree it. So it allows you to give it's a sweet flavor, roasted sweet, but it's going to give us a background.
For those who don't know, how do you puree?
So we use, usually we have it's called an immersion blender, but you can just put it, you want to get it soft enough, and then put it in some type of blender or food processor.
Okay.
We might add a little oil instead of water.
It makes it into a paste.
Turns into a paste. So okay. we've got our Trinity, we've got our garlic paste, which is kind of going to be the foundation of our dish. Then I want to go ahead and get our peppers ready. So because this is going to happen really quick, because we're going to be working with it. And now I'm doing these peppers. They're not super hot, but I would always caution when you're cleaning peppers, you want to do it with gloves, because you don't want to touch your eyes, and you've got the residue from the peppers. But in this case, do as the chef says, not as the chef does.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I just want to have a little spice in this dish.
Okay, that went very quick.
Yes.
Can you? I mean, y'all might not have seen all of that happen. It's been edited, whatever. Why?
So you got to keep in mind when you're an executive chef, when you have sous chefs or station chefs working for you in a restaurant, when a guest comes in, they want to be able to eat in 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, they want to have dessert, maybe after doing drinks. So in the first 5 minutes, you got to get appetizers done. The main entree, which we just made, it's got to come out in under 7-8 minutes. So you get those staggered times to make sure they enjoy in a deliberate way, but also still quickly get it out of the kitchen.
Gotcha.
So you got the pasta made, it's hot, the sauce and shrimp is done, and timing is everything. So you want to get it cooked, quick, plate it up, garnish, get it in the pass. We call it get it in the pass, expediting the plate, so it's out to the guest table so they can enjoy it at the best moment.
Okay, good. So next time you're in a restaurant, remember this is what's happening behind the scenes. This is what's going on. Okay, so what do we have here? Is that there?
Right, so I'm going to take this basil. We pulled this, and this happens to be an African basil that we grow here on site. So I'm just going to do a little. This is another one of those little fancy French cuts. It's called a chiffonade.
Yeah, notice how you
I
rolled
rolled it up like a cigarette or a cigar, and then we're just turning that into a nice chiffonade cut. We're going to hold that there. We're going to take our plate, put a little pasta here. Nice. Alright. Then we have our shrimp sauce. Man, that smell. If we could figure out how to put smell on the camera, you all would be just
You're not lying.
wishing, man, I was there. So we got that nice, we have that curry, the garam masala, we have that trinity of peppers, onions, celery, onions, bell peppers. Okay, really looks good there. Okay, you see the little red flecks of peppers and with chilies we pulled out of our garden. And we're going to finish off with some of that fresh basil. And voila, that is our Caribbean sauteed shrimp and pasta infused with the wonderful spices of curry and garam masala. So it's a really, really neat, quick fire dish that you could do at home.
Oh my God. Can I have a fork?
Oh yes, we can have a fork. How about a spoon? Does that work?
Anything.
One of these, okay.
Give it a bit of this. Oh, I was gonna burn my mouth, but whatever. Oh my God.
You crazy, man.
You can taste the chili. You can taste the curry. The Holy Trinity gives you that Louisiana feel.
Yep.
But